The male ego. The male ego leading to America's downfall. You're listening to Hysteria, the podcast that absolutely does not believe that New York Times report saying our zodiac signs are wrong. It's dumb.
No.
That was rage-bait.
Go away.
Like, I'm sorry. I just don't think the paper of record, I could picture them, like, making fun of astrology. And it's like,
don't tell me.
No, I'm not the thing that I think I'm supposed to be a Gemini instead of a Leo because I'm, like, right after the cusp. I don't know. It's really dumb.
All I know is I'm a Pisces through and through, and they can rip that from my cold, dead hands. Okay? I haven't grown up thinking I'm mercurial and sensitive. Dude, fucking switch now.
I mean, I'm a Leo, but I'm a Capricorn rising, which is why I'm like a boring Leo, right?
You're not boring.
I'm not like one of those people that says the word birthday month. And I feel like that's a Leo thing.
No. Well, that just means you're not an idiot.
Thank you. Here's somebody who does think that America, all of us, are idiots. And that's everybody who's working to cover up and try to bury this unfolding mess that is the Epstein files that is working for Donald Trump. Last week, a group of women held a press conference to share their stories and call on Congress to release the records that the DOJ is currently withholding. Now, let me just some background on this. I think the survivors did this press conference because congressional Republicans and MAGA people and people in the White House and in the administration have been saying that they can't release this because they're being sensitive to the survivors.
Right.
And the survivors they're trying to be like, release them. Here, we are the survivors and we are saying release them. And at this point, watching like this interplay is kind of like, have you ever been like on the phone with like a Comcast representative and you're trying to be like, no, but I want to turn in my equipment. And they're like, well, then you're going to need to do this. And you're like, no, but I need to do, it's like a dark pattern, right? They deliberately make, I feel like the Trump administration is deliberately like creating these artificial boundaries that they don't actually care if you are like, 100%. No, that's actually not a boundary. But these survivors who I'm just going to say, brave as hell. Super brave. Pleaded with Trump to use his power and influence to help them. And meanwhile, Trump is still just calling it the Epstein hoax. Yeah. There is currently a discharge petition that's 2 votes shy of overriding Speaker Mike Johnson's objections and forcing the Trump administration to release the files. Mike Johnson, by the way, last week
famously
said that the reason that Donald Trump doesn't want to release the files is because he's an FBI informant.
Erin, I actually watched the video of him say it out loud, and he couldn't keep a straight face.
I mean,
he's like, I don't think you understand. He's been trying to help. He's been trying to, it's like, what, with a wink and a nod? You Keebler elf? Like, no, that is not what is happening. And then he actually walked it back eventually.
Yeah, but I feel like I've seen it kind of take root in other, like, far right spaces where people are like, ooh, what if he was just trying to get Donald Trump in trouble? And I was listening to Hassan Piker, because they do, like, some of his streams as, like, podcasts, and it's in my feed. And he referred to it as being a white hat pedophile, which is like a very funny way. I was just drawing pictures of like an obvious little girl's body to catch the pedophile.
I was working undercover, but not with law enforcement.
I was lighting the house on fire to get another arsonist to come out and be like, good fire, buddy.
Right.
Like
that's what's happening.
What I was stealing from Target to draw awareness to stealing. Like, oh my God. So the signatures on this discharge petition, I'm just going to say this. Mm-hmm. I do not have any faith in congressional Republicans, and this 2 signatures away thing I think has been negotiated behind closed doors, so that I don't think that they're going to get there. I think that behind closed doors, there are a bunch of Republicans that are like, look, I need to be one of the people that signs onto this discharge petition because my constituents are really mad at me and I ran on this and I need to do this. So I'm going to need the rest of you to just like be cool and hold the line and let me do this. Like, I think that they know exactly how many people are possibly going to sign that, and there's not going to be any that peel off because they're awful people.
Yeah.
Am I being cynical?
I mean, maybe a little cynical. I just mostly the sort of comedy of all of this is that this whole situation has brought together 3 bitches who hate each other so much We got Boebert back up in the
Oasis
mix.
brothers are back together. So
I
why,
mean, why
this
not?
is the time in the season for bitches who hate each other to join forces.
It's spooky season. It's a time for witches. The Salem witch trial recreations are all over my TikTok and Instagram.
That's weird.
It is, but some of them are funny. But yeah, Lauren Boebert, hadn't heard from her in a while because she and Marge hated each other so much. But she, Marge, and the mouth of the South, Nancy Mace, all.
Has Nancy Mace signed the discharge petition, or is she just acting histrionic?
And more and overwrought.
Yeah.
Unclear. I think she has signed it, but the three of them are in lockstep, apparently.
Right. That's so weird. It's like
it's not good. Here's the real thing will be, does Laura Lomer show up? And because if that's it, the world is burning if Laura Lomer is on board with those lunatics too, because she and Marge have been fighting a lot.
I mean, but she's also, the lunatics are also on board with people. Oh, also Thomas Massey is he's a crazy person, but
he's on board.
He's on board. He is completely. Nancy Mace did actually sign on.
Yep, Nancy signed on.
I think, Thomas Massey. He is like, you can see it in his appearances in public. I think that something has happened to him where he's like, holy shit, this systematic abuse of like girls and young women
is bad.
It's bad and it's real, and I'm really upset about it.
He's kind of like lost his eyelids. Like his eyes are just bugging out at all times now.
Yeah, but it's not just
thank God.
It's not just crazy people. Like it is. I think that it's like a baseline human emotion to be like, it's really bad that like systems protected this prolific kid toucher for so long, and that so many important people were friends with him and either overlooked it or knew about, like they looked the other way, they knew about it and didn't say anything, or they're just dipshits and they were like, oh, why are there all these like skinny 15-year-old blondes around offering foot rubs on this airplane heading into international waters? Like there must have been like a deliberate ignorance going on, you know?
Right.
But yeah, there's Trump's excuse for playing dumb is looking dumber and dumber. And it's kind of impossible to avoid the images of the card from the birthday book to Epstein. The White House is now claiming that it's fake. The White House was suing the Wall Street Journal, which first reported
$10 billion.
For $10 billion, but they're still that's still going. The truth should set you free in this case. If you're being sued because you're saying something exists and someone is like, no, actually it doesn't exist, and they're suing you, and then it turns out the thing exists, technically their lawsuit should get thrown out, right?
Right.
So, yeah, the Wall Street Journal produced this page in his birthday book, which was provided to the Epstein estate provided it. Mm-hmm. So in order for it to be fake, which now the White House is saying it's fake, it would have somebody with a time machine.
Yes, would have had to go back and...
Was the time machine owner also an FBI informant? Were they like a double informant? They went back in time, or they were like working for Epstein. They built a time machine. They went back to 2003.
Found the book, found paper and everything that would comport with 2003.
And then they practiced Donald Trump's signature over and over again because they're like, he's going to be the president and I need
of the United States.
And I need to put this in. Like, are you kind of pissed at like... Joe Biden for not being like, yeah, here's all this shit and putting it out?
Kinda.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
What are we doing? I mean, look, here's the thing. It's a damned if you do, damned if you didn't. Because if he had been the one to put it out, it would have been easy for every Republican to be like, this is fake. This was created by Biden's DOJ. And now it's less so.
Yeah.
It's harder, which I think is why people like Marge and Boebs and Nancy Mace.
Yeah, it seems like it's completely unfeasible. And also the Trump team is they're breaking like every rule of crisis communication.
Yeah, right. Spiraling.
Right. Like
saying whatever comes to mind.
And they're continuing to lie. And here's another thing. Like this really undermines all of the sucking up they've been doing to Ghislaine Maxwell recently.
Yeah.
In late July, Glenn spoke with a member of the Department of Justice, a Trump loyalist.
Todd Blanche,
yes. And during that testimony, she told Todd Blanche that she'd never seen Donald Trump do anything inappropriate,
Ever.
which I've seen, and she also said she'd never seen anybody else do anything inappropriate. Like she never even admitted that Jeffrey Epstein did anything wrong. But like, let's put all that aside. So people are treating that as like, oh, so she didn't see it. See, he didn't do it. She didn't see it. He didn't do it. But she also said that she didn't see him sign this birthday book, and she didn't know anything about the birthday book. She was asked about it. So the release of this undermines the credibility of the child sex trafficker who they were relying on to exonerate Donald Trump. So it really can you really trust anything she says? No. But especially now, since there's such a stark example of her being asked a question, her giving information that is, I mean, maybe she truly doesn't remember, but it just proves that like things happened that she didn't see or that she doesn't remember. So,
or that she is lying about remembering.
Yeah. Well, if it seems like I know an awful lot about Ghislaine Maxwell.
It's because you do.
It's because on our week off, I've been working on the subject for our next This Fucking Guy, so that's forthcoming.
It's a banger.
Hysteria is brought to you by Ollie. If your dog could talk, they'd beg for Ollie. The full body tail wag, the excited little hops, the big goofy grin, that's the Ollie effect. Ollie delivers clean, fresh nutrition in 5 drool-worthy flavors, even for the pickiest eaters. Made in U.S. kitchens with highest quality human-grade ingredients, Ollie's food contains no fillers, no preservatives, just real food. And here's the thing. Healthier food means a happier pup. More energy, shinier coats, better poops, and more excitement at mealtime. With 5 protein-packed recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes or fresh turkey with blueberries, even the pickiest eaters can't resist. You might think, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Here's how it works. First, introduce Ollie to your pup. Fill out Ollie's 30-second quiz. They'll create a customized meal plan based on your pup's weight, activity level, and other health info. For any first-timers, Ollie will send out your pup's first box with 2 weeks' worth of meals, a free storage container for mess-free serving, and a guide on how to gradually switch them over to their new diet. More excitement at mealtime, a shinier coat, and solid, easy-to-pick-up poops are some of the benefits you can see. Also, 1 to 2 months on Ollie can help dogs reach a healthy weight. Ollie offers 3 meal plans to choose from, so you can choose between a full fresh plan, a fresh topper plan, or a mixed plan with their freshly baked recipes for your special fur baby. They also have treats and supplements. Ollie is one of a kind, just like your pup. Ollie is the only fresh dog food that comes with unlimited routine health screening, so you can get your pup on track to living their healthiest, happiest life. Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/hysteria. Tell them about your dog and use code HYSTERIA to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a happiness guarantee on the first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/hysteria and enter code HYSTERIA to get 60% off your first box. Hysteria is brought to you by Quince. Fall is in full swing, and it's the perfect time to refresh your wardrobe with pieces that feel as good as they look. Luckily, Quince makes it easy to look polished, stay warm, and save big without compromising on quality. Quince has all the elevated essentials for fall. Think 100% Mongolian cashmere from $50, washable silk tops and skirts, and perfectly tailored denim, all at prices that feel too good to be true. I absolutely love their cotton sweaters. I get hot in like itchy sweaters. I live in a hot environment. Their cotton sweaters are like the perfect layering cover up for a chilly morning, and it won't have me sweating through it by noon. By partnering directly with their ethical top-tier factories and cutting out the middlemen, Quince delivers luxury quality pieces at half the price of similar brands. It's the kind of wardrobe upgrade that feels smart, stylish, and effortless. All of my clothes are from approximately 2019. 2020 happened. I didn't really buy new clothes, and then I've been pregnant or postpartum for literally years since then. So it's time for me to buy some clothes that are from the 2020s. And that's why I love Quince, because I don't want to spend a ton of money on clothes, but I want to look nice. I want like a capsule wardrobe. I want it to be easy to mix and match. And Quince provides all of those things at a very good price. Keep it classic and cozy this fall with long-lasting staples from Quince. Go to quince.com/hysteriapod for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/hysteriapod to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/hysteriapod.
Now joining us for the rest of the episode, we have political commentator, editor-at-large of the 19th News, and newly minted president of the National Association of Black Journalists. Welcome back to Hysteria, Errin Haines.
You know, it's good to be back. It's good to be with you. things have changed. What a year it's been. There are developments, so many developments. But yes, that is one of them.
Yeah, so a little under the hood, guys. Right before we started recording this episode, an excerpt from Kamala Harris's book
Kamala's got a book.
Kamala's got a book, and an excerpt is out. And Erin, you have read it and digested it, and what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I did not expect to wake up this morning to our first look at the 107 days. My social media memories have been all about this time last year, right? When she was in the middle of this unprecedented campaign, and now we are getting to hear from her finally in her own words about what that campaign was. She is, we're under the hood, behind the curtain, whatever metaphor you want to use. She is going there. This is certainly a Kamala Harris that I think a lot of people who covered her are familiar with, but not the Kamala Harris that a lot of the American people got to see. So super interesting already. And this is just the beginning. I suspect that we will probably see some more excerpts in some more places over the next 2 weeks before this book comes out at the end of the month.
When they start excerpting, you're like, what's going to be left of the book?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, they got to sell books, so they're giving people just enough, I think, maybe to go ahead and sign up and for the rest of it.
Well, I pre-ordered mine.
Yeah, I mean,
right. You're locked in.
What are some of the like big bullet points from this excerpt that make you like characterize it as kind of spicy?
Sure. I mean, listen. I mean, the idea that she is talking very frankly about the decision, President Biden's decision to run for re-election, her thoughts on that. She says, I didn't think that he should have run for re-election, but also I understood the calculation of me as his vice president suggested. I was the last person that could suggest that he shouldn't do that, right? Because I was going to be seen as I'm already somebody who's seen as gunning for that job, right? I was already somebody who was criticized for criticizing him on a debate stage when they were running against each other for president, right? So she knew that, there was no upside for her politically or professionally, right? To do that, even as she didn't feel like that should have been a personal decision given the stakes of the country and everything that was going on. Like, that is not something that we've heard her say publicly. Mm-hmm. She was so on message around that, just like so much of the rest of the White House and the rest of that administration saying, it was his decision to make. But to hear her say, actually, maybe it shouldn't have been his decision to make, that was remarkable. But also just her talking about how as she tried to be an asset to the administration, that certainly was how she felt like she was trying to approach the job, trying to amplify his message, carry out his agenda. There were times where she felt frankly thrown under the bus by the administration.
No love for
she was shop.
I mean, I think a lot of people probably saw that and thought that, but people had no idea if that is how she felt.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so that is some of what she is also laying out here. Yeah. So, I mean, I just, I don't think this is the book that people necessarily expected. And so I think that, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of this goes. There are definitely, if this is where she's going just in this moment, I'm like, okay, well, what is she going to say about, her debate with Donald Trump, or what is she going to say about just other key moments in the campaign, right? What is she going to say about all the money that she was able to raise, or is she really going to go there on, how race and gender played a role in her historic presidency and also in this unprecedented campaign? Like, I'm sat for all of this basically. I just want to, I want to hear from her. And I think people would be interested to hear from her finally.
Well, and I was glad to hear her say in one of the excerpts that Politico had pulled that, like, she acknowledged they gave her, like, the shittiest portfolio. Like, she was not set up to succeed. And it's like, we all talked about it all the time. We're like, they gave her immigration. No one's been able, even when
immigration. And then when she was labeled border czar, right? There was no pushback against that. That was not what the job was, right? And yet that was kind of how she was labeled. That after the Dobbs decision, her going out on the road in the midterms to really talk about the impacts of Dobbs and that and the landscape with federal protections for abortion just going away. President Biden did not want that job, right?
No.
So he clearly cedes that role to her, but she takes it and she runs with it, and then and they don't get destroyed in the midterms, which is something that historically had happened before, but like they made sure. I mean, she put that on her back, and so they have a different outcome. So, like, I mean, she's laying out her frustrations. She's also laying out kind of what she sees as her accomplishments that did not necessarily get recognized, and also just the unique scrutiny on her vice presidency. I mean, like, I think I maybe had forgotten or just blocked out that there had never before been dedicated press pool for the vice president,
right?
Before she has this job. Like, normally, there was not a dedicated press pool for this person every single day.
You would take some reporters if you were going on a trip, yeah.
She would have had the same kind of pool as a first lady, but now, she's vice president, and people are scrutinizing her or following her, covering her, every single day, and yet so much of what she was doing was invisible to the American people.
I'm going to read something that was published in the excerpt about Biden's decision to step down, which I think like kind of encompasses what you were saying, Erin. She wrote, "It's Joe and Jill's decision. We all said that like a mantra, as if we'd been hypnotized. Was it grace or was it recklessness? In retrospect, I think it was recklessness. The stakes were simply too high. This wasn't a choice that should have been left to an individual's ego, an individual's ambition. It should have been more than a personal decision."
Amen.
Yeah. The male ego. The male ego leading to America's downfall.
But, Kamala Harris, I've covered Kamala Harris for the better part of a decade, right? I mean, I covered her when she ran for president. My first story at the 19th was about her presidential campaign that never got to make it to, the primary ballot in 2020, and covered her historic vice presidency. Like, this is somebody who is normally very guarded, whose inner thoughts most people do not have access to. So, yes, for her to say something like that, very candidly, very frankly, it is striking. Mm-hmm. It is striking for her to say that, because a lot of she's saying what a lot of people may have thought, but didn't know that was also what she thought.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And like, since you've covered her so much and you've like spent one-on-one time with her, you've interviewed her, like, you kind of implied at the beginning that this felt more like the real Kamala that people who are closer to her get to see. Is that what the impression that you're getting from like this entire excerpt?
Yes. I mean, as vice president, she was conducting herself in a very, she had to do certain things. She says so many times, even in this excerpt, how loyal she was. And so just how much she was trying to foreground the president and not put the focus on her, and not, make even this historic vice presidency about her, even as she knew what that meant to so many people in this country. Introducing herself to the American people as vice president was just really not an option for her. And so then I'm really interested to read more about, how that calculation changes when she is trying to, sell herself to the American people in 107 days. Because, on, covering her, seeing her up close, whether it was in off the record conversations or being able to interview her, that person could be a very different person than, the person that she had to be when she was governing in support of this administration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It sounds like 107 days is going to be kind of like 127 hours.
Yes, seriously.
The story of the guy who had to saw his own arm off in order to escape an impossible situation. So we'll be staying tuned. I'm sure this is like a rare political book that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read this, and it's not gonna be because some editor's making me read it to be mean. So I'm really looking forward to it. It drops September 23rd.
Yeah.
I think that's the same day as the Epstein survivors memoir, Virginia Giuffre's.
Oh, I think
book
you're right.
comes out.
I absolutely think you're right.
That is going to be
What a week.
That is going to be a busy week for people who work in women's media. Hysteria is brought to you by Article. I have so many Article pieces in my home. My new favorite ones are the dining chairs that I got. I absolutely love them. I'm not very good at just like sitting with my butt in a chair. I like to sit cross-legged on a dining chair. And my mom and dad hate that when I go visit them. But you know what? They're not the boss of me. I have my own house. I live in it. I can sit cross-legged on my dining chairs if I want. They still look very chic. They're super high quality. Absolutely adore them. Article makes it effortless to create a stylish, long-lasting home at an unbeatable price. Article offers a curated range of mid-century modern, coastal, and Scandi-inspired pieces that not only shine on their own, but also pair seamlessly with nearly any other Article product. This thoughtful design approach makes it incredibly easy to mix and match, helping you create a space that feels cohesive and stylish. Article takes great care in curating its collection, focusing solely on high-quality, meaningful pieces that will stand the test of time. There's no filler. Every item is chosen for its craftsmanship, design, and lasting value. You can immediately tell the difference in quality when you receive an Article piece. My favorite thing about Article, in addition to the furniture being awesome and pretty and high quality and lasting a long time, is that the delivery process is so seamless and so helpful. It's so much better than any other furniture delivery experience I've ever had that I feel like all of the other furniture companies should frankly feel bad about themselves. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/hysteria, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/hysteria for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Hysteria is brought to you by Fatty 15. What are my thoughts, feelings, and concerns about aging? I have none. I think it's great. I love that I slept on my neck weird, and I spent the entire day with neck spasms. That was cool. I didn't even do anything cool to hurt it. When you get older, you just get hurt from doing normal things. I don't like it. That's why I am really excited about Fatty 15, because healthy aging is really important to me, especially now that I'm actually experiencing the nightmare that is having a human neck. I'm so excited to share with you guys C15 from Fatty 15, the first emerging essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years. It's an incredible scientific breakthrough to support our long-term health and wellness. And you guessed it, healthy aging. Fatty 15 co-founder Dr. Stephanie Vent Watson discovered the benefits of C15 while working with the U.S. Navy to continually improve the health and welfare of aging dolphins. Never seen a dolphin with wrinkles. Based on over 100 studies, we now know that C15 strengthens our cells and is a key healthy aging nutrient, which helps slow biological aging at the cellular level. In fact, when our cells don't have enough C15, they become fragile and age faster. And when our cells age, our bodies age too. This eventually led to studies finding the first new nutritional deficiency in 75 years called cellular fragility syndrome, caused by a lack of the C15. As many as 1 in 3 people worldwide may have low C15 levels in cellular fragility syndrome. Fatty 15 is a science-backed, award-winning, patented 100% pure C15 supplement. It's vegan-friendly, free of flavors, allergens, or preservatives. Fatty 15 has 3 times more cellular benefits than omega-3 or fish oil. By replenishing our cells with the crucial C15 nutrient, Fatty 15 effectively repairs cells, reverses aging at the cellular level, and restores our long-term health and wellness. Best of all, Fatty 15 comes in a gorgeous reusable glass and bamboo jar, and refills are shipped right to your door. I'm tired of having ugly jars in my house. I'm banishing them for the rest of the year. So it's a good thing Fatty 15 comes in such a pretty package, because it fits right into the hope that I have for my future aesthetic. Fatty 15 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels to help support your long-term health and wellness, especially as you age. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/hysteria and using code hysteria at checkout. Now let's talk a little bit about vaccines. Who can get jabbed? How? Why? And who is deciding? Alyssa, take it away.
Asking for me.
Notorious fucking guy RFK Jr. is accomplishing exactly what he set out to do: cause confusion, mania, and deregulation around vaccines. So far in his term, he has upended the entire Health and Human Services Department, including firing the CDC's independent advisors on vaccines, and replace them with vaccine critics. Now we are seeing the consequences. As reported by the 19th News, parents are feeling the brunt of the chaos and are left with more questions than answers, specifically when it comes to the COVID vaccine. It's still unclear who will qualify for free vaccines since each pharmaceutical company has different approval standards for who they can offer them to and how easily school-age children will be able to access them. The CDC says parents may still be able to get their children vaccinated if they and their child's doctor decide together, but the shots could be considered off-label, meaning they might cost hundreds of dollars out of pocket. On top of the cost barrier, many doctors may be reluctant to prescribe off-label vaccines because of liability concerns. And reminder, this is not a popular policy. 78% of Americans support using vaccines for prevention of diseases. 63% of Republicans and 93% of Democrats.
63% of Republicans, that's so bad.
But it's still more than half.
That's so bad.
No, it's still a lot.
63% on an exam in college is a D minus. Like, they have a D minus percentage of Republicans. Sorry to interrupt, Alyssa, but I am like rubbing my eyes.
No, that's it. I mean,
frustration.
We endured 3 hours of RFK last week, spouting nonsense,
Breathing heavily into the microphone.
Like a leaf blower into a microphone he breathed. His stance on mRNA technology, his promotion of conspiracies, and endless contradiction about healthcare. The only good part of that hearing was when, Senator Cassidy said, "Oh, do you believe that for Operation Warp Speed, Donald Trump should get the Nobel Peace Prize?" And RFK was like, "Yes, of course." And he's like, "Well, but you said that more people died from the vaccine than COVID." And I just, well done. Well done, Cassidy. It's your fault he's the secretary.
Nothing more peaceful than fewer people. The more people, the more wars. So peace means, you kill a bunch of people. That, in a way, is promoting peace.
Peace.
Man. I mean, listen. Availability is now. What does availability mean under this? Under this policy, right? And it's true. I mean, as we are seeing, frankly, the return of COVID. So many friends that are, texting me saying, "Oh yeah, I can't hang out." Like, it is back, right? And so people are wanting to get vaccinated and have no idea what their options are, right? And for these parents who, even if they can find a doctor who will say, yes, okay, your child can get the vaccine, can they afford it? Mm-hmm. Will it be covered? Mm-hmm. Right? This is not, we're not getting guidance from the administration. And in fact, I don't know that is not intentional. The uncertainty that this creates when people are needing to make health decisions, mm-hmm. At a time when we know that this virus is back, it's unhelpful to say the least.
I just want to know, like, what is the end game here? Because, like, Donald Trump oversaw Operation Warp Speed, as RFK Jr. said in that hearing, and it was one of the only enduring actual accomplishments that were pro-social and beneficial from his first term, was getting that mRNA vaccine rolled out. So, like, why? I don't understand why they would want to kneecap American innovation. mRNA vaccines were showing signs of being promising ways to treat everything from cancer to a multitude of diseases, and we're halting research into them. Do you think RFK Jr. truly, in his heart of hearts, believes what he's saying, or does he have some kind of, like, money motivation? I'm just really having a hard time wrapping my head around why.
It seems to me like he developed 20-some years ago a fringe theory, we don't totally know why, that vaccines were bad. Mm-hmm. And he has made it his raison d'etre to take down vaccines at all cost, no matter what. He has weaponized the stupidity of people. Mm-hmm. He knows exactly who he is preying on and telling them, "Oh, you don't like the fact that they keep feeding the, like, you're getting vaccinated for diseases we don't even have anymore."
It's like, that's because of
vaccines. But one of their talking points, when you see on, like, crazy, scary TikTok that I end up on sometimes, is like, you're being vaccinated for diseases that don't even exist anymore. And it's like, oh my God, correct. Like, and he will burn it down at all costs to humanity.
So you think it's like an ego thing? Like he just wants to be right.
100%.
Erin, what do you think?
I think that this is also a symptom of kind of this ongoing effort to delegitimize science, right? And research and things that we know that have been proven, right? Like that was happening during COVID.
Right.
Like that was that was a thing that was able to take root in this country from our highest levels of government. And so I think there is a direct line from that to the moment in which we now find ourselves, right? That allows somebody like a Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to rise to the level of Health and Human Services Secretary. I mean, we go from, the CDC being gutted, not trusted, as an institution that has told us for decades about our health, given us guidance, right? To say that place is not legitimate, that those scientists are not legitimate, and for a significant portion of the American public to now be bought into that, right? And not trusting him, but being open to these theories that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. can peddle.
Yeah.
So I really, yes, I think a lot of what he is saying and doing is alarming to a lot of people, but I also think it's pretty clear to see how we got here as well.
Yeah. I mean, it also kind of like this kind of dovetails with a different story that really got stuck in my craw this week. So RFK Jr.'s quackery, as you mentioned, Erin, is not limited to vaccines. I think it's like an ego thing, and I also think it's like a cash grab thing because the wellness industry is huge. Wellness,
Yes.
What does it mean? But it's also like the Wild West right now. Like if you are a charlatan with a big idea and a convincing delivery, you can get people to give you a lot of money because the like healthcare system is completely broken. And when we had a chance to do things to fix it long term, we didn't do them. And so now we're here in this kind of like cash grab wellness space. But I'm also seeing this like there's these weird through lines of like eugenics in the way that he speaks. Like we're doing old-timey things. We're bringing back eugenics. The way that he talks about people with autism as being completely unable to live normal lives is like, what are you talking about, right? Like, and then the way that he talks about like Tylenol in pregnancy, which is something that they just have been talking about this last week. The Trump administration plans to release a report that will blame the use of acetaminophen. They'll tie acetaminophen to autism spectrum disorder. So that is also, to be clear, that is a large study published in 2024 by the U.S. in collaboration with Sweden that found no increased risk between those two things. Tylenol is actually the only over-the-counter pain med that you can take when you're pregnant. The only one. And it is also...
And there's a lot of research.
Yeah.
A lot of research.
There's a lot of
went
research
into
on
that.
it. And you know what? You know what is linked to autism? Genetics. And an older age of the father. Like there is, this is just like another way to blame like women's conduct during pregnancy and to like make it seem like the more you're suffering when you're pregnant, the more moral you are. Like it's just really fucked up. Like when I was pregnant with my second daughter, I got COVID. I was 11 weeks pregnant. And when you are that early in that first trimester of pregnancy, having a high fever is very, very dangerous to the fetus. It can cause neural tube malfunction. So like the tube around the spinal column doesn't form correctly if you do something like spend too much time in a sauna, get like a really high fever. Like it can cause like serious birth defects, some of which are like incompatible with life, right?
Right.
What helps break a fever? Tylenol. It is so dangerous to put information out there that could lead to women having truly awful pregnancy outcomes. Like a child with a neural tube dysfunction. And it's also like really fucked up that like people would say that it was worth it to them, and it should be worth it to them, to risk having a high fever during pregnancy because having a child with autism spectrum disorder is worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
it's just such a like tiramisu of terrible things, like the lionization of pregnancy suffering, eugenics. Erin, you look like you have something to add.
No, I mean, because if this is the guidance that is coming out of the White House, right? Then policy that can then be used to shame pregnant people into saying, well, you don't want to be, it would make you a bad person to be putting Tylenol into your body with it. Like, that's actually harmful.
Dude,
A known toxin.
People in the public think they're entitled to comment on pregnant people anyway.
Absolutely.
Like, I got told not to order coffee.
Where does this go if this is kind of official messaging from the administration that flies, again, in the face of decades of research that says the opposite?
I mean, let me just say this, and this is me catastrophizing, but this administration demands catastrophizing because
it does.
Whatever we picture wherever we picture things could be going bad, that's usually where it's going, right? We've been proven right over and over again. My concern is in the crunchy MAHA mom space, there is a real demonization of doing anything to make pregnancy less horrible, right? Mm-hmm. So there are people that are against epidurals, against getting vitamin K shots to newborns, which is vital, which is really, really important, against giving babies a Hep B vaccine. There are all of these basic care things that you would basic health care around pregnancy. I am worried that this is going to lead to the federal government funneling money into initiatives meant to promote things like home birth. And I am totally in favor of home birth when done safely.
Right.
I have a friend who did it, and it was a great experience for her. But I think that it is a decision that should not be made lightly. And it should not be made because you feel pressured to be the biggest sacrificer, the one experiencing the most pain. And I feel like there's this real creepy thing happening right now that equates sacrifice and morality in pregnant women, and that is unnecessarily going to subject lots of people to danger that they do not need to be in.
Well, and Erin, because that it is just a hop, skip, and a jump from them saying, if you are of childbearing age, you should not be taking Tylenol. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? That is every time they do something, they find a way to spread it further. And I think the thing that's just so anti-intellectual and insane and anti-scientific is that 100 years ago, the average life expectancy was 67, and now it's 79. And what does that say? 100 years ago, the life expectancy of a woman with breast cancer, it was 91% fatality that she would die. Now it's 2%. There has been not nothing, but the advancements in the last couple of years, I think the thing that I grapple with the most is how any person who has lived in the modern age can look at it and be like, oh no, we were better before science and vaccines and medical treatment. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just what we're seeing, this is also, part of the post-Dobbs landscape, right? Mm-hmm. Not only do we have government weighing in on access to abortion care, but now it's policy around pregnancy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is the focus. So not only are we going to tell you, you must have a baby, right? But what happens when you are pregnant? Not being regulated by science, by medicine, but by folks in government. That definitely feels like part of all of this and kind of the logical destination of where we are on the other side of this ruling.
Mm-hmm. Well, and on the back end of all of this, the MAHAs are really getting into perimenopause and menopause and how you really shouldn't be taking hormones. It's natural. You need to let your body do what your body's meant to do, despite all of the science that says if you're able to take estradiol and progesterone, that it's heart protective, that it's bone protective, that it helps keep lesions off your fucking brain. And they're like, yeah, but
natural.
It's natural.
You know what else is natural? Forest
gangrene.
fires. There's all kinds of things that you're well, we still need to control it. I want to, Erin, I don't think you know this story, but Alyssa, you know this story. When I was pregnant with my first, I really wanted to try to do an unmedicated birth. I researched it and I was I think this is what I want to try. And I found a birthing center that is down the street from a hospital. So I was even if things go sideways, I'm 30 seconds away from this from the hospital. And it seems like a pretty good thing. It's rated really well. People had a really good experience there. I found out after I was like in the process of transferring my care from my OBGYN to the midwives there that they were anti-vax. And it was just like it was just like part of what was okay. It was 2021 that I had my first baby. And so it was like COVID. Everybody, like, it was still like the height of the COVID pandemic. And I just was like, sent them an email and was like, hey, I just want to be sure that like everybody that I would possibly have like working with me and my baby, if I give birth here, would be COVID vaccinated. And they were like, no, that's an individual decision. Like, it is crazy. There is an anti-vax natural birth, like, they're like those two movements. I can see where this is going, and it's nowhere good.